So we're just going to get it out in the open. That's the way I am. Everybody knows I'm that way. Don't give a shit. Um, this is how you expose things and how you get people pretty much out there and let them know that you're not going to handle it no more. Um, so, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off, and everything I have is backed up. And I couldn't get the audio and the video to come on the screen, so I apologize. But I can at least get the audio, and then I'll post the video and audio so you can see that I have not fixed it or done any bullshit like that. But I'm gonna call out the problems with the issues with what's been going on. You make up your own mind. You want to say I didn't do anything when I went to Idaho? That's fine. I don't mind the negative comments. But when you come across here and you make speculations and assumptions that you don't know nothing about, that's when it's not a negative comment. That's just your guess at bullshit. And I don't like the bullshit. I'd rather have you say, David, you're ugly as a son of a bitch. I'd rather you say that. David, I don't like your hat. David, I don't like your glasses. David, whatever. David, don't like the way you do your job. Fine. That's fine. I can understand that. I can deal with those negative comments. But what I can't deal with is negative things that aren't true, the assumptions, because that's not right. That's bullshit. So let's go ahead and get down and dirty. And this is called cease and desist. So I guess everybody knows what that's going to be about. So I did receive something from Klein or his company, Klein, Vesca, whatever. But I didn't open it because I know how much of a it could be spam, it could be a virus, it could be whatever. So hold on one second. I just got something. Oh hey. I don't think. Hmm. 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 Hold on. Okay. So I'm gonna turn the volume down on my phone. So I know he's probably watching. Good. I want him to watch because it is about the children. It is about the people. It's not about your pocket. It's not about your fame. You come on here and you expect to say whatever you want to, do whatever you want to, but when you put yourself in the limelight, brother, you are public property just about. I am. Anybody wants to talk about me? Fine. Fine. I've had a many of it. You know, we've had a lot of in the bail bond business. You have a lot of enemies, and I created some, and I had some. You know, but there's one thing about us: when it comes to kids, we join together. If any of the people that hated me before, or I didn't like, or what we had disagreements, you know what? If their child got missing, I guarantee you I'd be one of the first ones there trying to help them find them. And I guarantee you if my child was missing, they would help me because we might still be apart, but we are bonded when it comes to those kids because kids have no say in what happens. So anyway, we're gonna get on down to the nitty gritty. So you want to talk about how we did things, but there's a reason we did things the way we did. We kept it quiet. Why? Because there was other things there. There's other things there that we had that have come up and gotten into it. If this stuff hadn't been shared to the public, all the prior junk and all the stuff accusing this person, that person, well, we could have shared what we had in a certain way. But you know, that's how, you know, it happens. But what I'm going to start doing, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to play the first little segment, and this little segment, I forgot which one it is. So I'm gonna play each segment, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk about it because I have so many in order. Ready? Let's go. I'll turn the volume up on it. I think I'm turning the volume up. If you can't hear it, you let me know. If it's too loud, let me know.
And again, before you guys get on the internet and start blasting other people and fighting, take a step back and take a breath. Okay, it's not really worth it. If you want to take shots at me or my staff, that's fine. We're big people. We can handle it.
All right. So there again, Mr. Klein, you said everybody stop talking trash and all. I didn't start this. You got to remember that. You had people call me trying to get information, trying to get how I feel about you and all. Well, it's kind of obvious how I feel about you. If you don't like it, tough shit. But I know what the people that really care about doing this type of job care about these children, care about these people. And we get results because we do care. And you said just then out of your mouth, if you want to talk about me, you want to talk about my staff, go ahead. Well, they can because you're a public figure now. You've made that aware. You've made that for yourself, which, fine. Okay. You asked for it. You're getting it. So let me play the next part. Everybody's been wondering these questions, so I'm going to give it to them. Oh, hold
on. There was another question on how much money has been spent of the original money that was raised by the public to date, and I'm going to give you round numbers because I don't have the exact numbers, but $34,000 has been spent on travel for the team, the dog teams, investigator teams, undercover investigators that have been up into that area. And the actual hourly per investigator, we have now crested just over $173,000 of our own money.
Woo! That's a lot of money. I mean, I'm sorry I'm laughing, but that's funny. Unless now, I take that back. Unless you're saying you're charging like $300, $100, whatever the outrageous price would be for that. But see, here's what you said. You said spent $34,000 in travel. What did you do? First class? What did you do? High-end hotels? What did you do? Stay far away? Trust me, I've been there. So I kind of get the feel of what's going on. So, let me just compare something to you. I'm the type of person that stays in a hotel and then I have to get Marshall one because, she's female, I'm male. I got a wife, she's not married, but, the thing is, that's decency. Okay. Now, we stayed in a hotel that was $25 for each person per night. Now, in Ledor, that is the price because there's not much around. And the guy gave me a good deal because he was about the only one outside the group that knew we were going to be there. I had to tell him. So we stayed there in that little town. Okay? We didn't even eat one night because everything closed down at 6 o'clock. We worked till too late and everything closed down. So, and we didn't want to drive 45 minutes after walking all up and down those hills and then walking back. So we didn't. So, okay, there's different taste in our what we consider going out and all that stuff. Well, you got to look at this as, all right, maybe you're not price savvy. I don't know. But $34,000 for travel expenses is mighty steep because you got basically two travel there and back. Now, if you're counting your rental or your rooms and all that stuff, okay, we got 34,000. I can understand that. Okay, fine. You got 20 people, 30 people. That's about what it should be if you got 20, 30 people. But I doubt you had that many. So then we go to the 175,000. Now, you state you had, or 173,000, excuse me. You said you had $173,000 in investigation out of your pocket. I hope you come after me for some bullshit, because then I'm going to request you to pull every bank statement you've ever had and make sure you've wrote every person a check. Every dollar is accounted for, which you stated publicly that you have spent, which I doubt you're going to be able to. But here's another thing, and this is so great because you did this to yourself. By law, you made a statement to the family that you have a GoFundMe. And in that, you say you have, let's see, give me a minute. Because I want to get that right. Let's see. Hold on, I'm getting there to it. Hold on, I gotta get to it because this is very good. God, I wish I'd underlined it before I came on here. Well, it's immaterial because you would have to come up with every dollar you said on to the news and to the public. Which I doubt you have it, but you said you did in here. So anyway, I'm not going to hold the people up. I'll find it later and then I'll post it for you. That way you can see what I'm going to come after you for, and all the other people that are interested in really truly finding people and helping people. Because I want to shut you down on something you're not doing. That's basically what I'm saying. I want to shut you down from taking from families and not producing results. That's exactly what I want to do. So let's see. Well, I'm gonna move on, but I'll post it later on. But anyway, then I heard about you got upset because we came to Wichita and found little Lucas, and we only charged like $3,500. And I made a statement that the daddy could hire any private investigator he wanted to, and he won't even hiring us. We were just going, basically, if he wanted to pay for the expenses, which was like $3,700 something dollars. So I didn't even benefit from it. There was no pay. I lost $200 something dollars, but it helped find a child. Look what you asked for. Let me see. You asked for $25,000. That $20-something thousand is looking normal, more and more and more. So anyway, let's go to the next one because I'm starting to get a little bit pissed anyway. It doesn't matter. Okay, you charge what you charge for no results, but in your contract you say you get results. I mean, it says it in your contract. It also says you don't share the information with anybody. It does belong to you supposedly, but you're not going to share it with anyone. No one but you, your investigators, the client's attorney, and no one else. No one else. Okay? But you share it with the media. I'll get to that. Here we go. Here's the next thing.
Well, our firm's done over 900 missing children's cases, and we've been successful at over 90% of those cases.
That's out of your mouth, brother. 900 children's cases, and you're 90% on it. That's 810. So tell me, why haven't you got your own TV show by now? Because 910 is unbelievable. I've said it before. Tim Miller, EquiSearch. Texas EquiSearch is the biggest search place there is. And he has found 400 some odd people with all his group together combined. And that's hundreds of people to put together to find people. You said that to the media. Straight to the media. So you lied. You need to show me proof. If you're going to come at me, you're going to show me proof. So just remember that. I need 900 that you found, and I will call every FBI agent, SBI, like state investigator, local law enforcement, and everything, and I will make sure that I will account for every person, children you have found and saved. Because I don't believe it. But you tell families, see, when you go do this contract with them, you tell those families. You tell them, I found 900. Not long ago, you said 1,800 to one. Call me a liar. But you use fraudulent words and fraudulent, basically fraudulent information about yourself and about your company to get money out of these people to do this. And that's wrong. And it stops. One day you were going to get caught either way because you don't mess with children. That's the time it breaks. Now, I'm heated and I am hot and I am mad over that stuff. Now, I let it go over the Lucas deal, including all the crap you tried to pull on that one and your group. But that's okay. But when you jump in my cornflakes, don't expect me not to drown you in milk. Because I'm tired of it. Enough's enough. People like Tim Miller and EquiSearch deserve donations for what they do because they do a lot of work. Q Center down there deserves a lot of recognition, a lot of donations for them. We deserve donations to us because we got results for families, whether it be 1 or 1,000. Because we produce results, not because we go talk and do the same thing that, like I was accused of. I did the same thing everybody else did, which I didn't. So all you did, well, I ain't going to say what you did. I'm going to say what it appears to be, that how can anybody argue with you? Because you said the same thing law enforcement. Difference is law enforcement can do that. You can't. A government agency can do that to someone. You can't. That's the difference. That's the big difference. Anyway, if you ever look at my Facebook Lives and you see what I do, like on the Cole Thomas case, okay, you're going to say, oh, well, he releases info. There's a difference. Big difference. Big, big difference. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to roll on. I'm trying not to make this long tonight. Ready?
Right. Well, to give you a little base history on it, what we did was we came into this case what we call cold. That means we didn't discuss our case with law enforcement. We didn't discuss it with anyone. We came in knowing only that there were 4 people on a mountain and a child had disappeared.
No. That is not what you did. You contacted all the little groupies over here for the internet. I think I said that last night. Why? How I know? I got proof. Do I need to call Vilt and say, Vilt? Oh, by the way, this gets me. Vilt, I'm going to come up there and get a sworn statement from you. I don't have the authority to give somebody a sworn statement. You have to get a court person to do that. Who are you? Are you a court person? Are you licensed in Idaho to do a sworn statement? Or do you mean a signed affidavit or a signed paper saying that that is they're saying that that is theirs? Because it can't be sworn. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's your terminology, but you like to use those words like conjecture. And we'll get to conjecture in a minute. I'm about sick of hearing that word too. Anyway, here we go.
Why did believe Dior is actually deceased? Amy, thank you for your question based upon the evidence that has been presented to us and the physical evidence that we have been proffered to.
Okay, here we go. You just said, how do you know? They ask, how do you know he's dead? Because you said the evidence and the physical evidence that you were privy to, or whatever the word was you used. If there was any evidence, I mean, this is like way back. I'm talking about by now it would have happened. If you had any physical evidence or any evidence, then there'd have been arrest. Because you can arrest somebody without a body. Corpus delicti. I mean, you can arrest someone without a body, and pretty much I know a lot of cases where they arrest a person and, you know, it's child endangerment or whatever, just to put them in the holding, to put a little pressure, whatever. But you're saying you got physical evidence. What is your physical evidence? I'd like to know what your physical evidence was, because law enforcement don't know. I sure don't know. Oh, is it? Wait a minute. It's the jacket and the boots you found in the apartment that had nothing to do with it, plus the so-called, well, I'll get into that later, but because I got more on that. No, you don't have shit. Obviously, you don't have shit. And you're accusing people that you don't know done anything, because you have nothing. But you sit here and make like you have all this stuff, and you have shit. All you have is exactly what law enforcement are saying. Yes, it's great to go behind law enforcement and say, hey, everything they're doing is 100%. But as far as I know, we're rolling back a little bit, and we're getting back on track because, you know, certain things have come up. Certain things I'm not going to talk about, and I'm not going to give to the public because it's not time. because basically you have given a defendant out here probable cause with the jury to get off for murder because of your mouth and what you have said and the shit you've released. Say I'm wrong. I can take it to any judge and let them look at it, and they'll say, oh shit, that does give reasonable doubt. I mean, how do you expect to get a fair trial in a county of 8,000 people? That's another thing you got to look at. You got to look at the population. Look at the whole state. How are you going to get a fair trial? All because you want to pop your face on damn news. Well, you did it, not me. All right, here we go.
I would say 3 have been cooperative. There is one that has hired legal counsel, and we have been unable to interview him, and that would be Isaac Renwald. I think it's been very public that he has hired counsel, and that's his right under the law. We have tried to make contact with his counsel. He has not returned our phone calls. We have tried the opportunity of going to Isaac's home and visiting with him before we knew he was represented by counsel, and tried to visit with him, and he declined to interview with us, although he did say that he would be willing to come interview with us with his counsel present, but his counsel has made the decision not to let him make any statements at this time.
Ooh, okay. So basically, you're saying you ask him a question. Could you talk to him? No, I'll talk to my attorney. You call his attorney. Well, all right. So you didn't talk to him, right? Let me get on down a little bit, and then I'll come back to it, or it'll be the next thing, and then we'll talk about it all.
Isaac gives me the creeps. He shouldn't, Amanda Ames. Isaac is Isaac's just a different guy, and sometimes there's different people in life, and that doesn't mean they're bad people. I don't believe Isaac is a bad person. I believe Isaac has his whims. Is he strange? Well, a lot of people say I'm strange. So I mean, tomato, tomato. But I've always gotten along with Isaac well, and I think Isaac's gotten along well with my staff. And no, he's not a suspect. For them, has Isaac's recollection of him at the campfire been disproven? Isaac's story has never changed again, and Isaac kind of states his own thing there. That's public. You can look it up. I'm not going to get into Isaac's statement because Isaac seems to be the only one telling the truth.
All right, so we can go ahead to it. So, you say the same thing law enforcement says. You act like you've talked to him for a while. He's a very nice guy. He's been very nice to our team. Okay, well, if he didn't talk to you, why would you act like you know him like that? Because it seems like you're saying you know him like that. You follow me? And you're supposed to be working for the family, but yet you're accusing the family, right? I'm just not comprehending this. All you did was watch a video of him. So do you mean he talked to you through the TV? Or, I mean, how was he nice to you? Always been nice to me. Sounds like y'all are good old buds. But how do you come to that conclusion? Probably the same conclusion you come with for all the other shit you brought into the table. You followed law enforcement as the easiest thing to do. Who's going to accuse you if you're wrong? And who's going to say you took money if you're wrong? Because law enforcement said it too. And that's all you have to go on. And that's all you have to go fall back on. And guess what? You'll be pretty good in the public's eye. Not with me. Not with me, bud. Not with all the other people sweating and getting cuts and snake bites and tick bites and everything else, while we are sitting there working hard for a family to get results. And you are playing detective and questioning all these people. Why? It's not that complicated. But you do your thing, I do mine. Mine seems to work. But I don't understand. That's why I'm saying, I said it last night, or night before that, whenever it was. You do great on interviews. From what I understand, what I heard. I don't know what you do on other investigations, but I know on these you ain't worth a damn. Bottom line. So stop. I don't know how long you've been doing this and how long you've been taking these people's money like this, but it is wrong. At least you could come with something like, well, I did this and I did this. You haven't come with nothing. What have you done? Nothing. Get with a team like Texas EquiSearch or another team that needs investigate. Oh, wait a minute. They don't pay you. That's right. They don't pay you. You can't control it. But yet you could add some results to your resume, because I'm ready to hear what results you have. What did you personally and your team personally do to actually get a child? You say you've been in it 23, 25 years. I've been in it 7. I can account for, almost 2 per year average. We'll know soon whether I say 2. But, hey. So anyway, I'm going to play the next one.
I think once one of them gets handcuffs on them, because they're already pointing the finger at each other. I mean, they are. Vernal's pointing at Jessica. Jessica's pointing at Vernal. Which one's going to be the one to give it up first is the question. So we'll see what happens. And for them to deny that they're pointing the finger at each other, I mean, they did it on videotape. My God. I mean, that's just silliness. Any motive on your opinion? Again, I've always been on it was an accident based upon the physical evidence that's been told to us and shown to us and examined by us and time distance studies by us. But there comes a point where if you don't get one of them to say, hey, it was an accident, or hey, she got mad, or if they just don't tell the truth, I don't know the motive. I got to hear the motive from them. My belief is there's 2 people that know this motive. And so we've got to get one of them to come clean, in my opinion. And we'll see if we can't get there. I think when handcuffs start coming out, I think that will.
Okay. You say with all your time, distance, study, later on you mentioned that that's what y'all are doing now or working on. Come on, that's just something to delay coming back because pretty much you're out of money, right? You haven't been back. From what I understand, how long did you spend on the mountain? From what I heard, it was 1 day. Unless the news media want to go up there and do some filming, then you did something there. But you bring this information out into public, which the reason why is to get your face up there, talk about whatever. I do it for a different reason. You do it for publicity. Hey, whatever floats your boat. If you got results, I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't give a damn. But this is all about you, brother. But I want proof. You show me proof, I guess you got me. I'll give you my proof. I got it. You want to see all my bounty hunts? I got a shitload of them. And I said it on TV. And I can prove every one of them. And it's a shitload. But anyway, when it comes to missing children or missing people, it's like 1,000 times harder. So anyway, I'm going to go on to the next thing.
First things first, obviously yesterday you released another big thing saying that Jessica Mitchell had an idea of where Dior's body is. And could you just talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure. We can start by talking a little bit about Jessica Mitchell. Jessica Mitchell, in her interview with us, and also we can announce today with law enforcement, did give a partial admission that she knew where her body was up in the mountains. We have tried to work with Jessica as we've tried to work with Bernal.
Let's listen to that again.
Jessica Mitchell, in her interview with us, and
today you released another big thing saying that Jessica Mitchell had an idea of where Dior's body is. And could you just talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure. We can start by talking a little bit about Jessica Mitchell. Jessica Mitchell, in her interview with us, and also we can announce today with law enforcement, did give a partial admission that she knew where her body was.
That's a damn lie, and you know it. Now, law enforcement explained to me on their side of it, but it was nothing like that. And you say she admitted to you guys that she knew where the body was. That's a bold-faced lie. Show me, let me hear it on recording. If you had it on recording, you'd have been the first to put it up on the media. You'd have played it right there, because that's the type of person you are. I do profiling. I know you're the type of person that would have had it on national CNN, everything. Where's it at? Oh, wait a minute. From what I understand, she told your daughter, which your daughter's part of your group, which is she's right there on the couch with you with the other investigator, which you're giving another. That's when you're looking at Isaac's interview, when you're introduced, when you and Isaac talk back and forth on the TV, which that's impossible unless it's Skype, but you know him, right? Anyway. I'm trying to call you out on the bullshit that you're doing so that way you won't do it. Maybe next time you'll think about doing something like that. I don't like it. You get on internet, you get on the news, so you're a public figure. Expect this every day. If you want to go back on my videos, please go back on them. I got them posted online. Look at them. Watch them. Do you think Trump sues everybody that says something about him? If he did, he'd be the richest man in the world by all the celebrities out there. But anyway, let me keep going.
Brunco.
Wait a minute. It's fair for you to talk shit about people and about families that are suffering, but it's not okay for somebody to say something about you. And I'm proving it, and I've got it right here. Anyway, I'll continue on. I just want to say that. Y'all know how I ramble, but I'm trying not to ramble.
Brunco, I guess is the name. I can't answer that fully, dear. I know our cadaver dogs that we brought in came in and searched the area very hard, and again, as I've told everybody, we did get a hit. Rachel Voss.
You said you got a hit. Well, did you find anything? Animal bones? I know at one time you were digging in the dirt right there at the dog that was dead. So, tell me, What'd you find? You got a hit here. You got a hit here. What kind of hit? Say something. You say hard hit. Okay. I know what that is. I know what all these terminologies mean. But I know where your dog hit and it ain't shit because I've been there. So I can call you out on that because I've been there. I saw where your dog was. And it's an animal there. There's animals all through there, everywhere. But anyway.
Let's see. Was the dog Grace? Was the dog Grace that was examined when you were there? Was it the dog that was hit during the search, or a dog after the incident? Let's go over that again. So on the day of the incident, there was a bunch of search and rescue dogs, SAR dogs.
The day of the incident, there was a bunch of dogs. Let's say our dogs. I don't think he was there the day of the incident. Am I not right on that? But anyway.
The SR dogs took off over towards the reservoir and then immediately turned back and came back to the truck and the Suburban. They would continue to do that. So that indicates a hot hit near the truck and Suburban on the day of. Okay? So they didn't, the wives' tales that they took off to the reservoir and all this cremation stuff, I mean, that's all secondary to everything. That's not what the dogs did. If you have a child and there is a scent trail that was picked up, the dogs would have hit the scent over by where everybody says they last saw Dior. The dogs never came close to where everybody says that's where they last saw Dior. Where they did come close to is the back of the truck in the Suburban, that area, back in there.
Bullshit. Totally full of shit. Bullshit. You're acting like you know firsthand. I know what the dogs did. Why? Because I sat there and listened and understood what they did. That is total bullshit what you're talking about. They weren't going for Dior's scent. They were going for Isaac's scent. So tell me again, they go to the reservoir, they come back. They do that a few times. Well, if anybody knows that area, I promise you the dogs wouldn't have done that 5 times because they'd be dead. Because it's hell going from there to the damn reservoir. Unless, wait a minute. If you go this way, this the hill, that's the way it went. If you go this way, well, that's pretty easy. That's the path. But they didn't go the path. I know they went this way, and they went all the way around. And then, well, I ain't going to explain the rest of it, but I know what happened the rest of the way, and it wasn't just come right back. And I'm surprised that handler didn't call you and say something. Because it won't your dogs because you weren't there the day of. So why would you even say that? Unless you're henceforth, let's say our dogs. Well, won't you say, let's say our dogs, not our dogs. Anyway, we'll get to that later. I mean, if you said it, you said it. But you're acting like it's yours. Then you say something about the back of the truck. Now I'm going to play this next part. Y'all don't get to see it, but when you do, I mean, there's this little funny look in the camera like I do all the time. I do it. And it's like, hello, I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it.
Secondarily, when we brought up Chance and Trey Sargent, the dog did hit on the diaper tree, around the diaper tree, on the ground of the diaper tree, and on a secondary location on the other side of the cattle guard.
Other side of cattle guard. Now let me explain that. That's way away from the campsite. That's when you're first coming in. Okay. Now, I do know about that, and we're talking about that hit, and we're talking about that was the hard hit because somebody's got it marked on the computer, and I saw it. I saw everything on this dog or whatever, and it's an animal. My dogs it didn't even faze them, but you're saying the dog hit on these three areas, or let's say that the diaper tree, the tree, or around the tree. How is that possible? How, unless you got there very quickly after everybody has walked through that whole place, after all the weather, whatever, and you come in with a dog, and yet he can still send him. That's just amazing. I want to meet that dog. Anyway, they made a machine to do that, but I don't know of any dog that can do that. I mean, it's very rare, and I doubt you have the rarest dog in the world. But anyway, not knocking the dog. It's not the dog's fault. It's the trainer's fault or the handler's fault if the dog's not doing right. I don't know. But I know that shouldn't happen. Um, Even as good as my dogs are, hard surface, soft surface, but you, mm, it just don't. Okay, whatever. Anyway,
in two areas, and that has been partially looked at. We're planning on taking some time and really looking at that a little bit more when we get back up there. Thank you, Rachel, for your question.
two areas. Like I said, past the cattle guard. No, nada. Nothing. Nothing. Nah. No. But just understand what you're doing to this case. You're mutilating it. You're giving a defense an outlet. You're giving them reasonable doubt for the jury. Just saying. You got to be careful what you say. You ought to know that.
Is there something incriminating in 911 call? That's prosecutorial. I'm not going to talk about it. Was Vernal's voice in the background of Jessica's 911 call confirmed? Again, that gets back into the 911 call, the tape, prosecutorial issues. There's vis-a-vis their statements of what they told police the first time and then the sixth time. That they're going to have to answer for that, would have a feeling. There are serious gaps in their memory, and there are serious gaps in their timeline. Let's say that begins at approximately 12:55 to 1:10, depending upon whose clock you're looking at. And then, of course, when the 911 calls came in, and again, I want to remind everybody, when the 911 calls are released to the public, one is already released to the public. When the other ones are released to the public, there are some time discrepancies between 2:21 and I believe 2:36 that day. We've been able to focus that down a little bit. Basically, there are towers that are pretty far away that send the cell signals. And sometimes there's a delay in the cell signal to the computer that logs it in, and we think that that's the situation. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay. You say 911 calls are prosecutorial, whatever. But you tell all the other bullshit. But 911 calls are public record. Anybody can go down there and get a copy of it. You're not going to comment on something that's public record, but you'll comment on all the other stuff. I mean, really, dude. If you've messed up this case, boy, I sure hate to, if I was the parents, I'd be upset. If I was, I would be upset. I'll be upset anyway. But anyway, let me keep on. Y'all wanted to hear it, so here it goes. I mean, you wanted to know the difference, so here we're going to have it. People that didn't see it now get to see it, and I'm going to let it out.
This case is now going to a prosecutorial phase very quickly.
Okay, if you knew it was going to that route because of no physical, but no evidence, but circumstantial evidence, why would you release it? So you can get your ass on TV. That's nonsense. Hope it was worth it. I'm playing the next one.
You mentioned the press has the full interviews. No, they don't, but they're on their way to Fox USA out of Atlanta, Georgia, and they are on their way to California to People USA. We have made the decision to go ahead and release them fully. So Vernal, Jessica, and Bob's will be released fully to the media. And that should pretty much solve all of the conjecture, can we say?
There's that word conjecture, but yet all your shit is conjecture. Conjecture is, give you that definition, brother. An opinion or conclusion formed on the basis of incomplete information, which you have no completed information. You're more worried about what people say to you and what people say about you. I don't. If you confront me, I'll come back at you. If you act stupid, I will act stupid with you. I will give back what you give me. But that is only right. You started this mess when you started putting blah, 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 blah. No, sir. Brother. Come at me correct or don't come at me at all. Promise you. Anyway, I'm going to finish this.
Conjecture in their original statements to verify what they've said and what their original statements were.
What do you need the media to verify? Aren't you the private investigator? Aren't you the one that took the interviews? Aren't you supposed to know what it means? Or are you too blind and stupid to understand your own fucking interview? But yet you give it to the media and try and pull these people through the damn dirt. They've lost a child. But this is not the first case you've done this with. I'm sick of it. I am so passionate about what I do. I will fight through the fire to make sure you don't do another one of these unless you are guaranteeing you can get the results you promise. And I don't give lessons, so don't ask me. It'll cost way more than you've ever collected. Next. Here it comes.
And of course, the media, I want to thank the media so much. Fox National, CBS National, out in California, the People, I guess People Magazine folks.
Yeah, thank them.
I want to say thank you to them. What
Sure
a wonderful
you do.
group of people. I think they really understand this case, and they're doing their job. They're just not doing a fluff piece. So I've been interviewed 3 or 4, 5, 6 times. It's been wonderful, great interviews. They've asked great questions. They've challenged me. And thus is the reason why we have made the decision to turn over those 3 sets of interviews. Most are about 2.5 hours apiece, so they have a lot of stuff to go through. And we'll let them kind of present them to you in a way that might be good. Okay.
The media, they challenged me. No, they put your fat face on the damn TV so you can tell bullshit so you can get advertisement. Tell me it's not true. Because that's exactly what it looks like. I've been on Dateline. I've been on 2020. I've been on 48 hours. Have you? I don't care. Really. Don't care. If it helps me get another case for a missing, great. If it's to put money in my pocket, I could use it, but no. Um, it's not about that. I was willing to do a TV show only if we could do it about missing persons. And they wanted to turn it into a new one of those bounty hunter shows, and I didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it. Because it's not about that. I want to do the missing. It challenges me and it makes me humble and it makes me feel like that I can give back for what I didn't have when I was younger. Okay? So anyway, let's play on. It'll play in a minute, I think. Good gracious. Might not. It didn't get the last of it, but anyway, I'll put it on there. So, pretty much, you know, you say right there at the end, I've got it, that it's about the child, it's about the case, it's about justice, it's about the family. But yet you have destroyed almost every bit of that. And I feel honored that I could go assist and probably patch that void that's going to be there. But will be limited and it will be hard to correct some of that. Why am I keeping quiet? It's because that's all he's got. All that little baby has. Marcia and I, we're not gloating. We're not saying what we have because it's all he's got. Because of you and your group, because I want to be media. I want to be on TV. Well, I tell you what, why don't you and I have a debate live for everybody to see? You want to do it? I'm willing to do it, but no, I have a feeling I know what's coming, but just understand what comes my way is coming back to you. I promise you 100,000 folds. Because it's not right. That that case deserved more. I can't take away that you did good interviews because that's what, I have been told. And I saw some of the interviews. And I'm not talking about the damn ones you on TV with or the damn ones you on in front of the damn internet. I'm talking about the interviews you did with everything else. But what fails to come up is when I'm watching them, but I don't get to see the whole thing. It's just snippets of it, and I don't get to see what Vernal's accusing her of doing and her accusing him of doing. That could have been anything. I know they argue a lot. They had a lot of arguments. They had differences of what they were doing at the time, but that's immaterial. Those are small things. It's not the whole thing in a nutshell. Not the whole thing. So you do what you got to do. I'm going to continue doing what I got to do. Results. That's all I'm asking. You want to put yourself out there. You want to put yourself on the news. You want to do this. I had one of them where you said you were going back, and yeah, you said you were going back. And then what happens? You turn around and say, we're going back, but nobody's going to know. But I'm sure the media is going to find out. I'm sure they'll know. Dude, stop it. These cases like this don't get on national TV like, now I'm talking about TV program news like CNN and like a show like 2020, Dateline, things like that. They don't do children's shows. So I'll give you a little tip. If you want to get your ass on TV so much, go do an adult one where it has murder involved or something. Then when you find them, then you'll be able to get on those national big news, because Dateline in 48 hours like them, they don't do that. They won't do them. So if people say, I do it for the media, I do it for the attention, did anybody see me do one interview? One freaking interview. A lady by the name of Miss Fields called me, wanted to do an interview. This is when she first heard I was going there. I didn't call her. I didn't call nobody. Marsha and I went in, and we got out because why? It's about the child. And the case has been so mangled up with bullshit that it needed some help. And I'm not talking about law enforcement. I'm talking about some of it, but, you know, sometimes you need that person to bring you to a certain situation. I'm not going to kiss the FBI's ass. I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass. I will tell it like it is. But I'll say that sheriff with Ledore or Lemhi County, whatever, Sheriff Penner walked every step I did. The man's 58 years old, 6'6". I mean, the man did not stop. And I'm sitting there huffing and puffing because I'm fat. I can't help it. I'm fat. The air's thin up there and I just ain't used to it. But he walked every step we walked. We had blisters on our feet so bad because of the heels. But it doesn't matter. We'll lick our wounds and come back the next day. And poor Marsha was so exhausted. I mean, it got the best of her. But that's what we do. And we're not complaining about it because we do it and we put ourselves involved in it. We do it. That's why we don't complain about it. We love it. Every scar, every scratch, every blood drop that comes out of our bodies, and every bit of sweat, we love it. And you gotta love it to do it, unless you got another ulterior motive. And trust me, money is not one for us. If it was, we could have made out like a bandit on a lot, but we don't. I couldn't do that to somebody knowing I'd done that. I just couldn't. And my team consists of me, active team going out into a field, me, Marsha, Kaz, or Rico. 2 of my dogs. We're 2 agents. My wife will step in and go get us some stuff if we need it, or our secretary will be here, but there was search for me. But far as what we do, me and Marsha mostly do everything. We don't need 10, 11 people, 20 people, whatever, to do anything. We do it. I'm just a little fed up with how this goes. But I mean, you got to understand, I'm very pissed. But anyway, I want to find that little thing for you guys before before I get to the end of it. Um, Let me get to it. I want to tell you this because this is going to be a big part of it. Um, because when I read it, I was like, that is so good right there. Because woo, when you write something like that in a paper, you better have it because that deals with a lot of crime and charges and all that kind of stuff. I'll have to find it, send it, or just put it on online. But you want to stop it, Mr. Klein? You want to stop it? Well, since you're a public figure, it doesn't have to stop. But if you want it stopped, stop doing it unless you can get results. Stop doing it until you find someone. Find someone. Results are what matters. Quit asking for this. Quit asking for that. Go do it. Show me a result and or some results out of these 810 cases. You did 9. I mean, you told the media this, so boy, I'm surprised they didn't call your bluff on that one. But anyway, you know how to get a hold of me. I called you. My number's on your caller ID that you didn't answer. So anyway, I'm going to get off of here, but I hope people understand a little bit now what I'm talking about, why I'm frustrated, why I'm upset. Don't take advantage of families that I feel like that's what it is, because you're not producing what you say you're going to produce. When it all comes said and done, tell the truth. Don't show somebody a contract and say, I found 900 people, 1,800 people, because that's fraudulent. That is very fraudulent. That is not right. So you're going to have to show that. Just saying. You said it in public. You're a public figure. I am too. So it's one to the another. Let's do it. Let's get it on. If you want it to stop, there you go. But I've talked to several people that are in this business and they want it stopped. They've ran into you several times. Ran into cases you supposedly been working on. They barely get $5,000-$6,000 in donations, and you're sitting there with a pocket full of money of 20-something thousand. People are going to say, well, it's about the money. No, it's not. It's about you doing nothing and them working their asses off when their donation box and their donations, that could go to donations for them to find way more. Y'all have no idea what $2,000-$3,000 does for a case. It helps a lot. On Kelly's case, I worked it 2 years, almost nonstop, and spent a little over $40,000. And that don't even include me saying, oh, well, I've got my hourly rate. No, I don't do that either. And I budgeted for that. And I put it all together and showed where I spent it. I had to. Somebody called me out on it, so I did. Did I get mad? Nope. Because I already had it for tax purposes. So anyway, guys, I love you. I hated to have to do it. But when you attack me, and you have people call me, you have people get on my Facebook, and a lot of these people that called in or did all these messages, I noticed something about that. When I was watching it, when I was watching this stuff, I heard the same people's names that were doing negative on our Facebook. Now, why is that? The same people asking you these questions that you simply picked out to answer were the same people on my Facebook, on Back Rows Case Notes Facebook, and on Search for Me's Facebook. Same person. Why is that? That was funny. And, you know, I don't care how you do your acting or whatever. I mean, but whatever. I ain't even into that. But anyway, guys, I love you. I'm sorry, but it had to get out there because I want people to understand you got to be careful what you say. I am privileged and honored to go search for Dior and do what we did for the case. And in order for me to keep the integrity, somewhat of some integrity for him and for justice for him, we have to keep quiet of what we're doing and what we did. We're done. We're completely. We don't have to do anymore. But there is always that possibility we have to go back for something else. But I told Penner today, I'll be glad to. And nobody will know I'm in town. I'll slip in and truly slip out. And media will not know I'm there. So, anyway, guys, I love you. I'm sorry, but, I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. And it is about these kids and it is about these families hurting and everything. I don't go out here for anything else but that. But anyway, love you guys. Please, if you can, donate to Search for Me. If you can't, we understand. Times are tough. But we can always use donations to go search for someone. We still have Cole Thomas we're looking for, and that's still me and my wife's deal. That has nothing to do with Search for Me. My wife and I are still doing that with us. We have not intertwined that case. It's under Search for Me, but me and my wife take care of the things. And believe it or not, Chris, he has spent a fortune on that thing already. And some of it was because of me. I mean, the man would look at me and say, dang, man. I mean, next time I'd say, Chris, I need this. What? I mean, it's funny, but he don't care. He don't mind. He wants to find his son, and we're getting there. But it's just it's hard. But Joe Clyde Daniels, yes, we're going to jump back on that as soon as we can get back there. But see, I'm doing some class stuff, so it's hard for me to do that. But I got a lot to do. I put too much on my plate this summer, and James Chambers, God, I keep forgetting about sending some stuff. But anyway, guys, I love you. Please donate if you can, and keep sending us your good thoughts. I mean, if you have something negative to say about me, say it that's true. But don't say something that you assume. Okay? Whatever. Just don't go there about the children. Don't go there about the case or what you assume you think we've done or what we haven't done. Because I promise you, when it all comes out, everybody's going to go, it's not my place to do that. It is, Sheriff Penner and FBI or whoever to do that. But just know we love you. God bless. And Mr. Klein, maybe this was a wake-up call for you to understand when you're a public figure, you're going to get called out on your bullshit. Now, when you prove to me that you've done all this stuff you said you've done, I'll get on here and publicly apologize. But I doubt you can do it. I very, very, very. You can't. So I don't expect to see you pop up anytime soon with another one unless you've gotten a result. But that's your choice. But no, from one investigator to another, you know better. You know better. But I don't care if you're in Texas and they're in Idaho, the case is still there. It's not going away just because you did. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not cool. But anyway, guys, this is it for the information we're going to give you, news and the telltale of what's going on. So love you guys. Good night, and God bless. Thank you.